Yo, what up? Welcome to This Is Not a Podcast, though. There's apparently another podcast that uses the tagline that it's not a podcast. I'm not sure if they're a podcast or not, but it's called Not 97. Shout out to them. Clever title flip off of Hot 97. And they're not a podcast either. This is definitely not a podcast. But regardless of whatever, right? Because now it's just getting confusing at this point. This is just my thoughts around Markman. Hey, bonus episode, right? I hit you with one yesterday. I'm right back today. And there's a very specific reason for this. Yesterday, Kendrick Lamar dropped Euphoria. I did a breakdown. And the way that y'all continue to support in the comment section, sharing on social media, just the things that y'all saying in support of what I'm doing right now, I love it. A major part of the show for me is the comment section. Because y'all know I really be in there with y'all. I try to answer every single response as long as it's like it's just not some dumb shit, but overwhelmingly mostly it's like super positive. So I'm right there with y'all. The trouble with doing things the same day, Euphoria dropped yesterday, it took me a couple of hours, but I got an episode out, is you miss things. You don't catch everything. You don't get to sit with everything. Things come back to you later. Your peoples hit you up. And so y'all put me on this stuff. Quite frankly, just being in the comment section, things that I missed. So I wanted to do a show today about the references or the things that I missed on Euphoria. I wanted to dedicate it to y'all. I wanted to thank y'all. Again, hardest thing about doing this show is working solo in the room. It's just me. The best part about it is linking with y'all. And I don't want to make this another hour-long episode. This is going to be really short, so we're just going to get into it, all right? First of all, right off the bat, The Wiz, Richard Pryor in The Wiz. I got so caught up in reversing the audio. I played the reverse audio yesterday. It totally didn't register to me that everything they say about me is true is from The Wiz. Yes, I know the movie. I grew up watching the movie. I probably haven't seen the movie since I was about 10 years old. I should have caught that, though. So I want to shout out Nilla J. That's Nilya. I hope I said that right. Nilla J. Shout out to Major Mind and Soul. Shout out to MD Peterson 23. Shout out to Sherritt Francois 6357. Shout out to I Am 901. Shout out to Chevy Cruz 3907. And shout out to at 757 Reaper repping Virginia. So I know who you a fan of, dog. But yeah, y'all were absolutely right. So thank y'all for chiming in. So in the movie, Richard Pryor is revealed to be the all-powerful Wiz, the Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain, and says everything they say about me is true. I'm a phony, which to me feels more like Kendrick pulling back the curtain on Drake. It just makes the depth of this record and where the battle is going more layered, right? So shout out to y'all for catching that. I definitely should have caught that. But nah, that's an amazing reference. I want to get into the bars now about Drake's blackness, right? And we know the lyric, right? How many more black features till you finally feel that you're black enough? And then there's, down the line, I even hate when you say the word, but that's just me, I guess. Some shit cringeworthy. It ain't even got to be that deep, I guess. So I want to shout out Ebony Graham 8108. Shout out to Ebony. I want to shout out M Bill High Jump. I want to shout out L Rez 977. I want to shout out Tech Time. I want to shout out Drop Release 4820. Y'all gave some dope insight. So, and y'all know my whole stance. I really try to be unbiased, but we're human, and I try to be truthful in my experience because our experiences shape how we view things, right? So what I may be guilty of is putting myself and my own experience into reading the lyrics. I'm reading Kendrick's intention. So the real question is, does Kendrick question Drake's blackness or put Drake's blackness into a scope is probably a better phrase. Does he put Drake's blackness into a scope solely because Drake has a white parent? Like, is it about genetics? Or is it about how Drake was raised and who Kendrick believes Drake to be at his core, or at least for the sake of this battle, right? Canadian, raised by a white Jewish mother, and how that experience may differ from Black American culture. And, Kendrick also had some lyrics about Canada and the West Coast and, in America and heritage. And so honestly, only Kendrick can say what he meant, right? Like I think we all understand that. I think without having to say that, obviously, I'm breaking down lyrics and stuff like that. But truthfully, only Kendrick really knows, right? So only Kendrick could say what he meant. But I appreciate the conversation that we have in the comments, the nuance, the perspective. Yeah, like maybe it isn't that Drake just has a white mom, and that's why Kendrick feels like putting his blackness in the scope. Maybe it's more than that. And again, Ebony Graham, M Bill High Jump, Tech Time, Drop Release, LRez 977. Y'all gave dope insight and a dope reading into that. So I just wanted to shout y'all out, and I appreciated the conversation. I want to get into Kendrick when he said, "Man, I hate the way that you walk. I hate the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress." I'm the biggest hater. That I still love that part. I think that part is amazing. Kendrick just owning being a villain, being a hater. So shout out to Real Talk O'Fly. I think that's how you say it. Real Talk OFLI. Shout out to @Call Me Tomorrow. Shout out to Mother Mecca Speaks. Y'all pointed out that could be a callback to when, DMX was on the Breakfast Club and saying that he didn't like the way Drake walks. He didn't like his face. He didn't like his haircut. So it could be a callback to that for sure. You know what I'm saying? Or two things could be true, and Kendrick just hates Drake for whatever reason. But that was a cool little tidbit. So shout out to y'all, and rest in peace to the dog. I want to shout out @Rashard Brown 6259 for pointing out that the beat in the beginning of the song is a Teddy Pendergrass sample. You're my latest and greatest inspiration. Rest in peace to Teddy P. There's also a really dope documentary on Teddy Pendergrass called If You Don't Know Me. It's from 2018. If you haven't seen it and you're into music docs, definitely check that out. Okay, going down the line, I want to shout out my man Young Lido, who called me after my video posted. He was like, "Rob, you missed the Jay Prince lines." This is my man Young Lido from Brooklyn, man. And shout out to Casey139 in the comments who suggested the same thing. And I see a lot of people online saying it. I read a Vibe article on Vibe.com saying that, Kendrick was getting at Jay Prince and Junior. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I hear what y'all saying. I still don't clearly see the connection. Like, it could be, but I just don't see a clear connection. So the lyric is, his daddy a killer, he want to be Junior. They must have forgot the shit that they done. Dementia must run in his family, but let it get shaky, I'll park his son. Obviously, talking about dementia, Parkinson's disease. Dementia is the forgetfulness. Parkinson's is you shake uncontrollably. It affects your nervous system. We talked about how people with Parkinson's can develop dementia. They're not the same thing at all, but they're kind of related. People can absolutely suffer from both. Park his son, just the wordplay. Dope line, but I didn't really see like the clear empirical evidence of how it related to Jay Prince. I could be wrong. Maybe it's the Junior part, you know what I'm saying, but that's it. I don't know what Kendrick is saying here. I think it's dope wordplay, but I wasn't 100% sure what he was getting at. I want to go on to something else. Devontae Gibson 4644 says that the God of Benjamin and Jackson all in my house like I'm Joe, okay, is a reference to the movie Ben. If y'all know that movie, classic movie, a movie about a rat, Michael Jackson had the song for the movie. The song was called Ben. So maybe that connects to the Gunna line later in the song. I'm not 100% sure where Kendrick is suggesting that he knows maybe something about Drake, something about maybe some snitching or something. And, there's a whole bunch throughout this whole battle, there's been a lot of Michael Jackson references. I want to shout out Sebastian Springer 437. He pointed out that Kendrick tweeted the song at 8:24 a.m. I missed that because I'm on the East Coast. So when it came to me and you see the tweet, it's 11:24 a.m. But that 8:24, that's the Kobe Bryant number. Kobe Bryant number 8, Kobe Bryant number 24. And remember when Drake said, "You're not Kobe Bryant to us," on Stories About My Brother for all my dogs. So that's an ill detail, right? And that's what we love about Kendrick, is the real attention to detail. I don't think that 8:24 was by accident by any means. So shout out to Sebastian Springer 437. Now, a lot of y'all talked about the title of the record, Euphoria, the Pacify line, relating to young kids, right? And how that all may allude to Drake liking young girls. And it's something that Drake alluded to himself when he rapped this pop on Taylor Made. Me personally, I see it. I see the connections. I'm not saying they're not there. I'm going to leave that alone so we know what's real, because there's a difference to me between liking younger girls who are of legal age, and of course a difference between that and underage girls, right? Me personally, I won't put that on anyone unless I know for sure, because once you get that label on you, you can't shake that. Like, and public, when we know public perception is everything, even outside the court of law. Once you get that label on you, you can't shake it. Now, I've definitely seen the different things that have been alleged, alluded to, when it comes to Drake, but I'm not going there. Also, too, I'm not trying to be slanderous or liable, or, I mean, you've seen what happened to Tasha K, too. At the end of the day, we got to be responsible with these platforms. Now, Kendrick could rap about that because he's going against Drake. This is warfare. I believe all is fair in love and war. But me, I'm going to have to see more proof. I'm going to leave all that talk, pedophile talk. Like, that's just such a nasty word. Like, man, you got to be sure before you put that label on somebody. But that's just me. I'm going to leave that to the internet. I'm going to be careful with that. I said I didn't want to make this long, so just kind of rounding up. I did get some information last night, though, that I'm not somebody connected to somebody. Like, the homies just kind of be connected. They be in the studio. They be around certain artists. I'm not going to repeat this information until I can absolutely verify, right? But the back-to-back, I like that record. I'm going to get back to that for the record. That line, the back-to-back. Details, I think, will start to surface around that. So let's definitely keep an eye out for what Kendrick means by back-to-back. I'm going to get back to that for the record. And that lyric might be connected to another lyric that Kendrick spit on Like That. So, this might be one of the reveals that happens in this battle. I'm not 100% sure, though. Like I said, it was told to me, and I believe the person who told me, and I believe the person who told me believes it. Like, but I got to see it with my own eyes, or I got to hear it with my own eyes, or I got to read it with my own eyes. Like, I got to see some type of evidence right there and see some proof for myself before I get up here in front of that camera and start, saying I know for sure and putting my name on the line. Like, I got to see it. But that's it, man. Like I said, I wanted to keep this short, man. I appreciate y'all. Like, y'all rapped so hard yesterday. I thought we had dope conversation again in the comments. So I just wanted to do this for y'all. I couldn't obviously shout out everybody, but I wanted to shout out just a handful of people. There were definitely more people in the comments, but again, we'd be here all day. But I just want y'all to know, like, I want to grow this to be y'all show too. You know what I mean? I'm on this camera, but I want to make sure we having a back and forth conversation every time. So appreciate y'all for riding with me. Appreciate y'all for supporting the channel. Appreciate y'all for going out into the world and telling people the job that I'm doing and how dope y'all think it is. And man, I know another record's coming. I know we about to get a response to this. So you might see me then, might see me sooner, who knows. But until then, like, subscribe, comment, you know how it goes. Peace.